This is the story of Sarah Stern, a radiant artist whose light was snuffed out by a betrayal so vile it'll haunt you. It's a tale of friendship warped into greed, a small town broken, and a crime so cold it'll frost your bones. Sarah, our star, a creative soul with dreams bigger than the Jersey Shore. Liam McAtasney, her childhood best friend turned sociopath, Preston Taylor. Liam, spineless accomplice. Anthony Curry, the friend who blew the case open. Michael Stern, Sarah's grieving dad, and a community left reeling. This is a story of friendship twisted into betrayal, a town shattered, and a legacy that won't fade. Hug your friends, chase your dreams, and ditch anyone whispering about walkie-talkies. Sarah's tale will grip you. Ready for a true crime epic that'll grip you like a riptide? Grab a coffee, check it for poison, and let's plunge. An only child, she grew up in a tight-knit town of 5,000, where neighbors shared casseroles, kids biked until dusk, and the Jersey Shore's salty breeze was a constant hug. Neptune City was Americana with a boardwalk twist. Think funnel cakes, arcade claw machines, and a sense that trouble happened somewhere else. Sarah, with her brunette curls, hazel eyes, and a laugh that bubbled like soda, was its pulse. She made you feel seen, her dad Michael later said, his voice cracking like dry wood. Sarah was a creative tornado. At Neptune High School, her sketches, sweeping beaches, fierce goddesses, quirky dogs, papered the art room, snagging first place at Monmouth County Fairs. She painted feelings, her teacher, Ms. Grayson said, holding a drawing of a lighthouse in a storm. By 2016, at 19, Sarah was studying art and television production at Brookdale Community College, dreaming of animating for Disney, or building a YouTube channel like her idols, Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomit. Her Twitter was a digital scrapbook, vibrant sketches, selfies with her rescue dog, Buddy, and gushing posts about VidCon meet and greets. Just hug Jenna Marbles. Dying. She tweeted in 2015, her grin beaming through the screen. Her Instagram bio was simple. Art is my soul. Buddy is my home. Social media was her megaphone, amplifying her joy to the world. But life wasn't all glitter. In 2013, Sarah's mom, Lisa, died of breast cancer at 45. A loss that gutted 16-year-old Sarah. Mom was my everything, she told her friend Emily Chen, tears soaking her sketchbook. Lisa left Sarah a hidden fortune. $50,000 to $100,000 in old crumbling bills, stashed in shoeboxes in her closet, meant for Sarah's future. Sarah found the money in 2014, the bills so brittle they flaked like dead leaves. It's Mom's last gift, she told friends, storing most in a safe deposit box. By 2016, Sarah lived with her dad, Michael, a contractor often away on jobs in Philly or New York. Their relationship was rocky, fights over her spending, her plans, or their shared grief. She felt like he didn't get her, Emily said. Alone in the house, Sarah leaned on Buddy, a scruffy terrier mix who slept on her bed, his snores her lullaby. Sarah's crew was her lifeline. Her best friend since age 6 was Liam McAtasney, a wiry jokester with a twin brother, Seamus. They met in Sunday school at Good Hope Baptist Church, giggling over Pokemon trades and bad puns. We were the squad. Liam captioned a 2011 Facebook photo, arms around Sarah and Seamus on Asbury Park's boardwalk. Weekends were for slurping milkshakes, binging Stranger Things, and dreaming. Sarah of art, Liam of directing gorefests like Saw. Preston Taylor, Liam's roommate and Sarah's junior high prom date, was the squad's quiet shadow, his shy nods masking a weak spine. They were family, neighbor Mrs. Carter said, watching them play tag in 2010. But families can hide monsters. December 2, 2016, dawn cold. The Jersey Shore draped in a gray haze. Sarah, juggling college and shifts at Java Joint Cafe, woke at 8 a.m., sketching a mermaid in her room. Buddy sprawled across her feet. At 10 a.m., she texted Mrs. Carter, the family friend across the street. Can I drop off some of Mom's stuff? No room. Lisa's relics, dresses, earrings, a faded Polaroid album, crowded Sarah's closet, too precious to toss. Mrs. Carter replied, Sure, kiddo, come by. Sarah rolled up at noon in her grandma's creaky Oldsmobile. Liam McAtasney slouched in the passenger seat, his baseball cap low. She lugged a plastic bin to Mrs. Carter's porch, her red hoodie a splash of color. Saying she looked drained, Mrs. Carter later told police, ate like she hadn't slept. Sarah mentioned losing respect for her dad, Michael, who was on a job in Philly. Said he was controlling, Mrs. Carter recalled, and they clammed up when I asked more. Liam, usually a human laugh track, was silent, his hands jammed in his jacket. He was weird, Mrs. Carter noted. No jokes, just blank. They peeled out, hitting Taco Bell for lunch. Sarah's guilty pleasure, with its chemical cheese nachos she'd roast but crave. Security footage from 1 p.m. showed them in a booth, Sarah chuckling as Liam flicked a fry at her. But a bank camera caught a hidden move. At 1:30 p.m., Sarah slipped into First Atlantic Bank alone, accessing her safe deposit box. She pulled $10,000 in cash, part of her mom's brittle stash, zipping it into her backpack. Liam, idling in the car, kept the stop mom. Back at Sarah's house by 2 p.m., they blasted Drake and scrolled Snapchat, Sarah doodling on a napkin. Liam left at 3 p.m. for his shift at Outback Steakhouse, his Civic caught on a neighbor's camera. Sarah stayed behind, maybe sketching or cuddling Buddy. At 11:45 p.m., that camera recorded her Oldsmobile backing out of the driveway, the driver's face a smudge in the grainy feed. Hours later, at 2 a.m., the Uber driver spotted the car on Route 35 bridge, abandoned, like a discarded prop. Police swept Sarah's house at 7 a.m. on December 3rd. The front door was unlocked, the air heavy with absence. Buddy whimpered in his crate, his water bowl dry. No blood, no smashed windows. Just Sarah's phone, wallet, and keys gone. Her passport, social security card, and $200 in Canadian currency sat in her desk, next to a sketch of a wolf howling at the moon. A bank check revealed her safe deposit box still held $25,000 in crumbling bills. Money too fragile for easy use. Who runs away and leaves that? Detective Mark Butler muttered, scratching his buzz cut. Buddy, freed, nosed Sarah's sneakers, whining like he knew. Sarah's disappearance was a grenade in Neptune City's heart. By December 4th, missing posters plastered every storefront. Sarah's smile begging, "Find me." Her YouTube idols, Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomita, tweeted to their millions, "Sarah Stern is missing from NJ. $5,000 reward, please share." The posts exploded, retweeted by fans, vloggers, and true crime junkies. "Met her at VidCon," a follower wrote. "She was so kind." Neptune City mobilized, with 400 volunteers scouring the Shark River's muddy banks, their breath fogging in the 30-degree chill. "She's our kid," volunteer Katie Lopez said, her boots caked in sludge. Belmar's water rescue team dove into the river for 11 hours, shivering in near-freezing currents. Helicopters buzzed, their beams slicing the dark. Nothing. No body, no jacket, not a trace. The Route 35 bridge, a gray slab over the river's mouth, became the case's grim anchor. Those currents could drag a car to sea, Coast Guard Captain Tom Ellis told police, his face grim. Suicide was the early theory, Sarah's low mood, her dad drama, but her friends weren't having it. She'd die before leaving Buddy, Emily Chen said, feeding the dog at a search rally. And $25,000? Please. The bridge's surveillance camera, meant to catch every car, was a joke, broken since 2013, its lens blurrier than a Bigfoot photo. "Why do we even Butler groaned, tossing a report. Police grilled Sarah's circle. Michael Stern, back from Philly, was shattered, clutching Sarah's sketchbook like a shield. "She was my world," he sobbed, tracing her drawing of a sunset. Friends confirmed her tension with Michael, clashes over her art career, his protectiveness, but nothing suicidal. She talked about Canada, classmate Jake Torres said. Like a pipe dream, not a plan. Liam McAtasney, questioned at Outback on December 4th, was all charm, his grin too polished. "We hung out all day," he told Butler, tossing a rag over his shoulder. "Taco Bell, dropped off her mom's stuff, then I worked." She was bummed, talked about Canada, maybe offing herself. His story held, neighbor and Taco Bell cameras backed him, but his nonchalance grated. "He's too cool," Butler told his partner, Lisa Morgan, in the precinct's coffee-stained break room. "Like he's reading a script." For 2 months, the case froze. Searches yielded nothing but soggy trash, and leads fizzled like wet firecrackers. Neptune City's hope faded, replaced by murmurs of suicide or a runaway to Montreal. Maybe she needed space. A Java joint barista sighed, taping up a faded poster. Then, on February 1st, 2017, Anthony Curry, a 19-year-old with a mop of curls and a horror film obsession, shuffled into the Belmar police station, his phone clutched like a grenade. "I know something about Sarah," he said, voice shaking. "It's Liam." Anthony, Liam's buddy, bonded over Friday the 13th and dreams of directing blood-soaked indies. On Thanksgiving Day, November 24th, 2016, 8 days before Sarah vanished, they were at Anthony's house, picking a turkey and swapping movie pitches. Liam, eyes gleaming like a shark's, leaned in. "Check this. A guy strangles a girl, tosses her off a bridge with a buddy. No body, no crime." Anthony laughed, thinking it was Liam's usual splatter flick brainstorm. "Sick, dude," he said, grabbing cranberry sauce. But Sarah's disappearance turned the pitch into a nightmare. On December 10th, Liam Snapchatted him. "Cops talk to you?" Anthony's gut twisted. "No, why?" He typed, fingers trembling. Liam's reply, "Need to talk." Face to face. Alarm bells screamed. Anthony screenshotted the chat, his heart pounding. "I didn't want to believe it," he later told police, "but it was too close." He'd hesitated, hoping he was wrong, but Liam's message was a shove. "Sarah was cool," he said, handing over the screenshots. "She didn't deserve this." Butler and Morgan rewatched Liam's interviews, their coffee cold. In his third, on December 15th, Liam had tossed out a weird line. "If someone jumps off that bridge, wouldn't they be in the ocean by now?" It felt casual then. Now, it was a neon sign. "He's taunting us," Morgan said, slamming her pen. Anthony's tip was a spark, but they needed a blaze. "Liam trusts this kid," Butler said, grinning like a wolf. "Let's reel him in." Police hatched a sting straight out of a thriller with Anthony as their reluctant. On January 31st, 2017, they wired his rusty Toyota with micro cameras and mics. 2016 tech so sharp it could catch a whisper, unlike Route 35 feet's useless lens. The bait? Anthony would ask Liam for a loan to fix a broken camera from a film shoot, nudging at Sarah's money. "If he's got her cash," Butler said, "he'll slip." Anthony, sweating through his Nirvana tea, called Liam. "Yo, can you spot me some cash? Maybe from that girl's money?" Silence hung, then Liam's voice, tight maybe. "Meet me, not on the phone." On February 1st, Liam pulled into a ShopRite parking lot in Neptune City, his Civic growling beside Anthony's car. He slid into the passenger seat, eyes darting like a cornered rat. "Gotta check for a wire," he said, patting Anthony's jacket and chest. Anthony, pulse hammering, forced a chuckle. "Dude, you're paranoid." Liam smirked, missing the cams tucked in the dashboard, visor, and rearview mirror. Cops in a van 50 yards away, earbuds in, held their breath. "Showtime," Morgan whispered, her pen poised. Liam spilled like a burst dam, his voice a mix of swagger and venom. He'd planned Sarah's murder for 6 months, hooked on her mom's hidden money. Old bills, stashed in boxes, worth $50,000 to $100,000. Sarah had told him about it in summer 2016, giddy about funding her Canada move. "I thought I'd be set," Liam said, scoffing. "She only had $10,000 in that safe, and it's so old I'm scared to spend it. Looks like ash." Anthony, knuckles white on the wheel, nodded. "What happened to her?" Liam's tone was arctic. On December 2nd, he'd sweet-talked Sarah to First Atlantic Bank, watching her withdraw $10,000. Back at her house, he strangled her in her bedroom, timing it on his phone to see how long it took. "Took 5 minutes," he said, shrugging. "Harder than I thought." He left her body in the bathroom, bolting to his Outback shift for an alibi. Preston Taylor, his roommate and Sarah's old prom date, was his puppet, waiting outside as a look. While Liam worked, Preston dragged Sarah's body to bushes by the fence, hiding it from neighbors. After his shift, Liam returned at 11 p.m. They stole her safe, buckled Sarah's body into the Oldsmobile's passenger seat, like she was napping, Liam snickered, and drove to Route 35 bridge. Liam had studied Sarah's driving, slow, cautious, to mimic her on the neighbor's camera. Backed out just like her, he bragged. At the bridge, they used walkie-talkies to dodge phone records. Headlights spooked Liam. He threw Sarah's body back in the car, cursing like a sailor. Once clear, he and Preston heaved her over the railing into the Shark River's icy maw. "She was heavy," Liam said, laughing, "like lugging a couch." He left the keys in the ignition to scream suicide. "Cops bought it," he crowed. "The gut punch?" Liam felt nothing. "I don't think about it," he told Anthony, his voice a void. "Might as well make it a movie. Why live a boring life?" Anthony, fighting nausea, mumbled, "Wild man. Like Scream." Liam, "We're legends." They split, Liam oblivious to the cams that had just caged him. In the van, Butler whooped, "Nailed the bastard." On February 2nd, 2017, Liam Mikatasny was arrested at his Ocean Township apartment, cops storming in like a SWAT team. He faced a rap sheet from hell: first-degree murder, felony murder, robbery, second-degree desecration of human remains, conspiracy, and hindering apprehension. A search found walkie-talkies, duct tape, and a burner phone receipt from November 2016, planning tools for his perfect crime. Preston Taylor, nabbed at his parents' house, was charged with desecration, conspiracy, and hindering. "They thought they were masterminds," Morgan said, bagging a walkie-talkie. Detectives sat Michael Stern down at his kitchen table playing Liam's taped confession. Michael, a burly man with tired eyes, crumpled, sobbing into Sarah's sketchbook. "She trusted him like a brother," he whispered, tracing her drawing of Buddy. Liam, who'd scarfed tacos at their table, who'd fake cried at search parties, had killed her for $10,000. "It's a knife in my heart," Michael said, clutching a photo of Sarah at VidCon, grinning with Jenna Marbles. Neptune City reeled. "Liam was at my 4th of July cookout," Mrs. Carter said, her voice hollow. "How do you miss a monster?" Preston folded like origami, faster than anyone I've seen, Judge Richard English later said. He took a plea deal, testifying against Liam for a lighter sentence in a deposition. Preston admitted the plan started as a burglary, but turned lethal when Liam fixated on Sarah's money. They buried the $10,000 in a wooded lot near Asbury Park, planning to dig it up when the heat cooled. Preston got $3,000. Liam kept $7,000. "I was scared to say no," Preston whined, avoiding Michael's glare. He led police to the money, a muddy wad of old bills, like Confederate cash. Sentenced to 18 years, he's up for parole in 2032. Liam's trial, starting April 2, 2019, was Neptune City's Super Bowl. The courthouse was a zoo, with reporters, YouTubers, and locals packing the halls. Sarah's art, a mermaid, a wolf, a self-portrait with Buddy, hung in the lobby, each piece a silent cry. Prosecutor Megan Doyle played Liam's confession, his cocky drawl echoing like a villain's monologue. "He's a predator," she told jurors, jabbing a finger at Liam, who stared at his nails. Anthony Curry testified, his voice steady despite Liam's icy stare. "Sarah was my friend too," he said. "I had to do right." The gallery erupted, earning a gavel slam from English. The defense, led by Carlos Diaz, swung wild. They claimed Liam's tape was a film audition for Anthony's horror project, a stunt to go viral. "No body, no murder," Diaz argued, banking on the missing corpse. They called Craig Hetzel Sr., a local dad who swore he saw Sarah at 5 a.m. on December 3rd, walking near the bridge in a leather jacket and heels. "It was her, clear as day," Hetzel insisted, gripping the... Police torpedoed it. The car was towed at 3 a.m., hours before Hetzel's drive. "He saw a stranger," Doyle countered, flashing tow logs. Liam's mom, Karen McAtasney, was the defense's emotional trump card. Sobbing, she pleaded, "Liam adored Sarah. That tape's a setup. If he threw her in the river, where's her body? I grew up on that beach. Bodies wash up." Jurors shifted, some teary, but the evidence was a tsunami. The tape, the buried money, Preston's testimony, Liam's walkie-talkie receipts. On June 21, 2019, after 5 weeks, Liam was convicted on all counts. Judge English sentenced him to life without parole, plus 10 years, banishing him to New Jersey State Prison, a fortress for the worst. "You're no legend," English said, his voice steel. "You're a leech." Sarah's body was never found, likely swept into the Atlantic's depths by the Shark River's ruthless currents. Without a body, her family couldn't bury her. So Neptune City held a celebration of life on July 15, 2017. Over 1,200 packed the community center, where Sarah's art lined the walls, a starry beach, a howling wolf, a portrait of Buddy with soulful eyes. Friends shared stories. Sarah's cackle at Taco Bell, her bear hugs at Comic-Con, her habit of sketching strangers and gifting the drawings. "She drew me at Java Joint," barista Mia Sanchez said, holding a sketch of herself pouring coffee. "It's my treasure." Michael Stern spoke last, his voice a fragile thread. "Sarah was my light," he said, gripping a drawing of a sunset over the Shark River. "Her art's her voice now. Keep it alive." The crowd wept, their applause a roar for Sarah's spirit. Outside, volunteers handed out prints of her mermaid sketch, captioned, "Sarah Stern, forever free." Buddy, curled at Michael's feet, whined softly, as if sensing her absence. "The case gutted Neptune City. We thought we were safe," Mrs. Carter said, bolting her door for the first time in decades. Liam's betrayal, his jokester facade hiding a sociopath, shattered the town's... "He was at my kid's soccer game," Jake Torres said, shaking his head. Preston's role, for a pathetic $3,000, was a second wound. 10 grand for her life, Katie Lopez spat, ripping down a missing poster. The squad, once a symbol of carefree summers, was a ghost, its memories tainted. Sarah's story rippled far beyond Jersey. 2020ths aired The Bridge to Nowhere. Dateline ran Betrayed by a Friend, each drawing millions. YouTubers like Julian Solomita posted tributes, and Sarah's art went viral on Twitter. Fans captioning her sketches, "Rest in peace, Sarah." True crime podcasts, My Favorite Murder Case File, Morbid, dissected the sting, Liam's tape a chilling artifact. "His voice is pure evil," a Morbid host said, shuddering. Reddit threads exploded. "How do you kill your best friend for $10,000? Sarah's case tightened New Jersey's laws on digital evidence and safe deposit box access, her name whispered in State House debates. She changed how we fight crime, a senator said in 2020. Sarah's art became her immortality. Michael donated her sketchbooks to Brookdale College, funding the Sarah Stern Art Scholarship for Young Creators. She'd be proud, Emily Chen said, curating a 2020 exhibit of Sarah's work. Wolves, mermaids, Buddy's soulful eyes. Online, fans shared her drawings. One, a moonlit wave. Captioned, Sarah's free. Buddy, adopted by Michael, died in 2020, always sniffing Sarah's hoodie like she'd return. A memorial bench by the Shark River, etched with Sarah Stern, 1997 to 2016, stands as her marker, locals leaving sketches instead of flowers.